Alright everybody, this famous person right over here predicts that the Bitcoin price this cycle will hit over $1 million and is going to completely replace gold. This was a shocking prediction here that was posted here today, and I will talk about this prediction and this person, his charts. But first, we're going to talk about the short-term analysis. As you guys know here, I'm still up here. Almost 7 Bitcoin right over here on this Bitcoin trade, as you can see right over here on the right. Total up here about $860,000 here in total. Still the long position, I'm continuing just to hold this position, and I have not changed anything. If I will change anything, I will of course let you guys know here inside the Telegram, the free VIP Telegram here. But so far, nothing has changed. I've held this position here basically since July 2025. Man, time is flying, but we kind of went down here to my entry price. I have quite a big stop loss over here, and so far it hasn't gone hit yet. And I mean, we've kind of been grinding here to the upside, which is a very beautiful thing to see here. I definitely think if we can kind of catch some momentum here again, and we're kind of going to take over here some of the volume levels here that we've hit, then I definitely think that we're going to be able to overtake and hit a new all-time high, because I mean, we still have this, I would say, this insane momentum that's been kind of building up here in the last like 2 years. We still have the negative funding rate. I still very much believe, again, that we are in a Bitcoin bull cycle. I think people, again, they've kind of gotten a little bit bored with the current Bitcoin price action, but I feel like we're kind of in a crisp here of the start of something very similar as we saw in November, where it basically went from 70K here all the way here to $110,000 in a matter of a couple of weeks. I still very much believe that we can probably go up here to about 150,000, from 150,000, go here to 200,000. And yes, I still think $200,000 is going to be the cycle all-time high for this cycle. So yeah, I will talk about the $1 million prediction, but what I think is going to happen is we're going to go to what I'd say $150,000, one more leg up here to about 200K, somewhere around November here, and then eventually that's going to be the bear market top here. So I'm going to be looking here to keep this long position open here until about $150,000, and then close it, kind of catch a new dip, and then ride this to 200K. Funding actually allows it. So that is again going to be here the trade I've been talking about here. And again, if you guys actually want to join here, the free IP channel is completely for free. All you have to do is just go here to the link in the description here. You sign up on any of these exchanges here. The Blofin exchange here, for example, is a no VPN exchange. What you can actually see here, if you just go here and go to this exchange, you can actually sign up here with my actual link. And then if you actually have deposited here on the exchange, then send me a DM right over here on Telegram, and I will actually add you here to the VIP Telegram channel for free. You can also sign up on any of the other exchanges right over here as well. But if you sign up on any of these exchanges, I will actually get a small fee here in commission. It helps fund the channel. And if you like of any of these exchanges, then make sure to check them out. So anyway, what you guys can actually see over here, what's very, very interesting, that the Tether market cap is currently massively growing. So it went up about 20 million. I checked it here before the video. It's up almost 20 million. And the Bitcoin price has, I mean, not really done that much. Like, yeah, we had this nice mover to the upside, but we're basically going like a little bit mainly sideways. You know, let's say we've been kind of mainly trading inside this kind of upwards channel, I would say. What we can basically see is that the Tether market cap has been radically going here to the upside, and the price is kind of relatively stayed sideways here. I mean, it hasn't really done a lot. I think all of this is still going to build up momentum here in the later stages here of this Bitcoin bull cycle in the next coming few months moving forward. So again, this is a very, very bullish sign here, together with the negative funding rate here as well. Still very much make me bullish here for the Bitcoin price. As you guys know here, again, funding rate is probably the best indicator out there. Whenever this is negative, we always pretty much see a move here to the upside, especially during this bull run. So I'm just going to continue to hold this trade and just kind of see what happens. Interesting tweet here that I saw here from a guy called Bitcoin Thanos. He said that the S&P goes up almost 70% every single year, and on average, Bitcoin goes up 83%. Now, that is also, of course, accounting here for the past Bitcoin bull cycles, but it kind of shows you the big differences. Bitcoin tends to always outperform the stock market, tends to outperform absolutely everything else, and I think eventually it is going to flip gold as well. Now, I saw here a video. I'm not sure. I just play it here in its entirely a little bit and just kind of see what you guys actually think of this. So let me actually play it over here.
Why is that interesting? Well, it's interesting because on top of this halving, which theoretically, if history is a guide, we should see some price appreciation. Obviously, the other thing that's happened is we've commercialized Bitcoin. And we talked about this sort of as my big prediction for 2024, which is these ETFs are really going to allow Bitcoin to cross the chasm and have its sort of central key moment, right? And so if you apply the averages, and again, these are just averages, they're by no means predictions, Okay, so I just want to qualify that.
Yeah, this is not financial advice.
It's not financial advice. These are just guesses. Data. We took these and we applied it to the price of Bitcoin. And if you go to the next page, you start to see what could happen if you just take the average of the last few cycles. So because the first cycle was so extreme, and you start to...
so you're just doing cycle 2 and 3 here, to be clear.
Just the averages of cycle 2 and 3. And what you start to see is some really meaningful appreciation. And when I talked to Wences about this, how he explained it, which makes a lot of sense to me, is there are a lot of countries that will never look at Bitcoin credibly, even if they support it. The US may be one of those. But there's an increasing body of countries that will become dual currency. And they will look at their local currency, and then they will look at Bitcoin. And they will say both of these two things are needed. One, when you're transacting on a daily basis for random goods and services. And two, when you need to buy a permanent asset that needs to have residual value, you'll use something like BTC. And I think that's a very...
All right. I've just kind of quickly gone over that over here. So this person is saying that, of course, this is Samad Papalatinia, whatever the name is. He had this meeting with the president as well here a couple of days ago, actually, where I was sitting next to the president. So very powerful guy saying that we're going to go here to 1 million this cycle based off, the last previous cycles. Now, what we have to understand here about Bitcoin cycles is that they tend to decrease. The actual implication of each Bitcoin cycles, they tend to decrease over time. Like the last cycle, for example, that we got here, we went from about 4K, was a little bit low, from 3K here, about 70K, which is about a 20x. But what we did in 2017 is we went from about $200, if I can actually remember it correctly. Here, it's about, I'd say about $200 here to about $20,000, which is 100x gains. So we went from 100x gains to basically 20x gains. And then this cycle, what are we going to be looking at? Well, I think if we can hit a 10x, that's already going to be quite absurd, right? So if we go here from, we're bottom at, I'd say, $70,000, we make a 10x, 170K, that's already going to be quite insane. If we actually look at this, and you could say if you just exactly made the right prediction, from $3,000, we went up here to almost $70,000. So let's say that's about a 23x. If we can hit something half of that, like a 12x, that's going to already put us here at $200,000. Now, if we're then going to go back down from 200K to, let's say, at 70K, and then we're going to go to 500,000, then we're basically going to go here from 12x to about a 8x to 500,000. So these cycles, they tend to decline over time. Now, if you're going to take the average of the previous cycles, you're going to get on a very high number. But that, in my opinion, makes no sense. Now, you'll be looking at a chart something along the line of this. And also very, very quick. Because basically, this would still take 2 years. So what we generally see here is that it's only like, a year after the halving, year and a half is basically when the price peaks. And we had the halving here in April of 2024. So we basically see the peak here at the end of this year at 1 million. Seems very absurd. I think 200K is going to be fine. This is the ridiculous chart over here. It's called like the logarithmic growth curves, which predicts it's going to go to this cycle. We're going to go to 500,000. I don't believe that. So I think eventually we're going to go to 500,000. And then another 4 years, we're going to go to 1 million. So it's going to take 8 years basically for us to hit 1 million. And I think, unless the government prints a ton of money, I don't think we're going to hit that. I think if everything is going to be organic, I think we're going to be going to about $1 million. So that's what I personally think. And these people, I think they're just, hyping up the Bitcoin price. I don't really know why they talk about it in this way. But obviously they have free speech. They can do whatever they want. But that's not how I'm just looking at this. Like if we're going to go here to $1 million with this long position, I'm going to be able to close this on $10 million. Seems a little bit ridiculous. Seems a little bit of a lot of money. And then everybody's going to be like a hyper millionaire, especially people who've been buying just throughout this cycle and previous cycles, whatever. Anyway, I saw this video, but I had to comment on it. I don't really believe it's the case. But anyway, that's kind of the end here of this video. If you again want to sign up here on the VIP channel, all you do is sign up here on any of these exchanges. Send me your user ID over here on Telegram. I will answer here your message and add you to the group. And that's basically it here. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.